We have initiated simulcasting the radio show at prisonplanet.tv. Joining us from the Bilderberg Group meeting 2009 is American Free Press writer Jim Tucker, author of the Bilderberg Group Diary. Available at Infowars.com, I would add. Jim, with breaking news on the arrest of a bunch of reporters, the police state, and most importantly, every year, you hear it here first, inside knowledge from Bilderberg Group contacts of what's happening. We're now into the first full day of the conference. It's now 8 o'clock there in Greece. Jim Tucker, tell us what's happening.
Well, today, Carl Bildt made a speech advocating the turning the World Health Organization into a World Department of Health, advocating turning the IMF, International Monetary Fund, into a World Department of Treasury, both, of course, under the auspices of the United Nations. And, of course, this would be a giant step toward world government, an issue that's frustrated them now for more than a decade, their efforts. But whether or not they go all the way, either event would represent a significant surrender of national sovereignty. So, well, he made the case about how the world is in such horrible economic shape that it takes a global super agency to fix the problem. And because of they tripped over their facts when they invented the swine flu disease, the swine flu pandemic, as they called it. He shifted gears and fell back on an old, decades-old Bilderberg theme of global warming. We're all going to burn to death. Well, in the hereafter he will, but...
Jim Tucker, I must interrupt you in the limited time we have. I know you're busy. Jim, are you telling me they said they invented the latest swine flu?
No, I said they did, because it was Bilderberg luminaries who first said, gee, we have this bad pandemic. It was not a bad pandemic. Every year, on average, 300,000 Americans get a flu. Every year, on average, 30,000 Americans die of flu. Now, how many people have died of swine flu? What is too many? But it certainly does not represent a pandemic.
And they admit both those were sick. So I see your point. And plus, they're now using it, as they've said, to set up a new world order. You're saying they're saying that internally in the meeting. Continue. What else is on the agenda? What about the global carbon tax, the global court? You said you were getting some initial reports of that. What else is on the agenda, Jim?
That is on the agenda, and plus overlooked by many people, is the fact that it's some type of a direct tax on all the world has been long on the Bilderberg agenda. There's 3 such bills pending before the United Nations, and have been for years. And they're trying to pick a time when they can slip it through without knowing anybody being really aware of it. Now, their favorite global tax has always been a tax on oil at the barrel head. It'll start off like the income tax did, very low, maybe a penny a barrel. When you buy a gallon of gasoline, you would not even notice that you're paying 2 pennies to the United Nations because you bought 2 gallons of gas. You wouldn't even know. Years ago by, you would not even be aware that when you put gas in your car, or your lawnmower for that matter, or any purpose, you are paying a direct tax to the United Nations. That's a symbol of global sovereignty. And, of course, like federal income tax, it would increase over the years, and people have grown, and then when they're get a listing saying that so much federal tax, so much state tax, so much, in some cases, county tax, and, oh, yes, UN tax, too.
All right, Jim Tucker, we got a break, quick break. You'll have 3 minutes. We're going to come back for another 6-7 minutes, then let you go. When you get back next week, we'll get the full report also coming out in AmericanFreePress.net. But he is the author of Jim Tucker's Bilderberg Diary. Absolutely essential. You can get it at Infowars.com. Jim Tucker, a living legend, a true reporter, straw hat and all.